What do King Tutankhamun and an Egyptian alabaster vase from Yale's Babylonian collection have in common? Both contained a brown, sticky, and until recently unidentified substance now believed to have been opium. In a recent study by Andrew Coe and his colleagues, the sticky brown substance found in 2 Penn Museum calcite vases and an exceedingly rare Egyptian alabaster vessel were analyzed using organic residue analysis techniques. Not much is known about the ancient alabaster vessel's provenance, and in fact the trail runs more or less cold in the early 20th century, when the Yale Peabody Museum received the inscribed Egyptian alabaster vessel from an Iraqi French antiquities dealer, Ibrahim Elias Gejou, in 1912. Yet the vessel itself does provide some clues. Measuring only 22 by 10 centimeters, it bears inscriptions in 4 ancient languages: Akkadian, Elamite, Persian, and Egyptian. Each reads exactly the same. To Xerxes I, who ruled the Achaemenid Empire from 486 to 468 BCE. Such inscribed Egyptian alabaster vessels are exceedingly rare, with only 10 known to be housed in collections worldwide. Most of these have typically been associated with elite contexts, in places such as the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus in Turkey, a Sarmatian burial mound in Russia, and fragments have been excavated in Susa, Persepolis, Uruk, and Sepphoris. There has been a general scholarly consensus that all of these vessels were likely originally produced in Egypt and were prized periodic gifts sent from Egypt to places such as Mesopotamia, where they were valued enough to be taken into the grave. However, much debate remains about what these vessels contained, with theories ranging from cosmetics and perfumes to more imaginative hypotheses such as hidden private messages between the king and his officials. One of the study authors, Dr. Andrew Coe, initially became interested in these vessels when he observed a dark brown aromatic substance inside the YBC vase. Knowing similar dark brown substances with an aroma had been found in other alabaster vessels, including multiple vessels recovered from King Tutankhamun's tombs, he set out to analyze the contents. The King Tutankhamun tomb vessels were discovered in 1922 when Howard Carter and his team entered the glamorous tomb for the very first time. Within they found a literal treasure trove of artifacts, including a vast number of exquisitely preserved alabaster Egyptian vessels, some of which had been filled with a dark, sticky, brown, foul-smelling substance. Carter noted that the tomb had been looted at least twice previously. The first time, the ancient looters had focused on portable metal objects, while the second looting specifically targeted the contents of these vessels. During the second looting, the thieves methodically transferred the precious contents of these alabaster vessels into portable bags, trying their best to get every last bit out, as evidenced by finger scrape marks at the bottom of the vessel. Whatever was within must have been just as precious, if not more so, than the precious metals taken during their first theft, given the care and meticulous nature of the second looting. In an attempt to determine what the sticky dark brown substance was, Alfred Lucas, a member of Carter's team, conducted a chemical analysis of the residue in 1933. However, his efforts were inconclusive. All Lucas could say was that he was sure whatever the vessels contained had not been perfumes, salves, or ointments. Dr. Coe set out to chemically analyze the contents of the YCB vessels. It was confirmed the YBC vessels and the calcite vessels from Egypt's New Kingdom contained 5 key components, which are all characteristic of opioids. Opioids are derived from opium, which is a narcotic drug derived from the latex sap of an opium poppy pod. It is created when an unripe pod is cut, which results in a milky white substance exuding from it. Once dried, it turns into a characteristic dark brown, sticky and smelly substance. Historically, it has been used for a wide range of purposes, including pain relief, cough suppression, and even as anesthetics. Now, the researchers did not analyze the vessels within Tutankhamun's tomb directly, possibly because they did not have access to it. But, given that the sticky substance within Tutankhamun's vessels and the YBC vessels seemed to have been identical, they likely both contained opium. This could possibly explain why the looters of Tutankhamun's tomb took such care in its theft, as opium-based substances would have been of immense worth. The researchers also point to other lines of evidence that suggest opium use was far more widely practiced in ancient Egypt, such as multiple ancient texts and even ancient rituals. However, if it was in fact opium which was contained within these vessels, why was Alfred Lucas unable to determine this? It is possible that opium was not considered as a possible substance within the Egyptian vessels in the early 21st century due to the stigma associated with it, often associated with opium dens, addicts, and other dubious activities. Thus, the substance found within these vessels and with which Tutankhamun was buried remained a quote-unquote mystery for decades. This was Archaeology Tea House. If this video was your cup of tea, please like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell to never miss a video.